In the recent election cycle, Kevin Roos highlights the cryptocurrency industry's notable successes, particularly the potential for a more favorable regulatory environment under a prospective Trump administration compared to Biden's tenure. The removal of anti crypto officials from Congress should ease regulatory pressures, allowing for deeper integration of crypto with traditional finance.
Presidential election, the crypto industry got what it wanted this election cycle. And some of those wins include removing or unseating members of Congress that were deemed hostile to crypto interests, such as Senator Sherrod Brown from Ohio, who's a big ally of the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, who is sort of seen as the primary villain within the crypto community. Under the Biden administration, federal regulators have been very tough on crypto. They have been suing and warning crypto companies for running unlicensed securities exchanges. There's just a lot of enforcement happening on crypto companies that they wish weren't happening. And so they poured millions of dollars into funding opponents to their perceived enemies. And in many of those cases, they won.
And this could mean the potential for a bit of an unleashing in the crypto markets. I mean, what's the potential implication for the economy at large? How much does crypto overlap with the current financial system? And could we see it more intertwined now?
Yeah, so right now, the crypto economy has been sort of purposefully sandboxed away from the regular economy. That was one of the things that under the Biden administration, federal financial regulators were not interested in having the crypto economy and the quote unquote real economy be that interlinked and intertwined because of the potential for contagion and risk. But under the Trump administration, I think what we'll see is these things starting to come together. There have been a lot of big institutions, banks, hedge funds, et cetera, that have been reluctant to really invest heavily into crypto because of all the regulatory uncertainties surrounding it. And so I think in a more crypto-friendly administration, that money will come pouring in, and you may start to see millions of Americans investing in things like Bitcoin through their retirement accounts.
I have to imagine that there's a lot of people skeptical of Bitcoin, but then they just see it going through the roof and have to start questioning whether or not maybe they should get involved in this game. Is the risk associated with the crypto as a currency itself, or is it the structures around it? Because at the same time we see Bitcoin going through the roof, we see all the controversy with Sam Bankman-Fried and how that market completely fell apart. Explain to me how those two things work.
Yeah, so the risk of investing in any speculative financial instrument such as cryptocurrency is there, and even people in the industry say you should not invest money you can't afford to lose on these things. At the same time, the prices, as you noted, have been going up. Bitcoin is at or near an all-time high and has been since the election, and that's because a lot of people see this as potentially a good investment, or at least a good short-term bet that the prices will keep going up because of all the changes in the administration. But I think it's also just we need to see more evidence that this technology, this cryptocurrency technology is actually useful for people for more than just speculating. I think that's the part that a lot of investors who are more skeptical of these assets have been waiting to see. Obviously, many of us don't spend cryptocurrency on everyday items. There are good reasons for that, but I think that's one thing that people hope will come out of this administration in the crypto industry is just a more mainstream adoption of this technology.
And maybe expand on that. I mean, what would it take for us to go into a store and use our Bitcoin to purchase something? How close are we to something like that happening?
I think we're fairly far from that, in part because one of the things that's preventing that is just the sort of fluctuation in asset prices. You wouldn't want to buy a new bicycle for $100 worth of Bitcoin when that same Bitcoin could be worth $200 tomorrow. It just wouldn't be a good financial strategy. So I think for a lot of people, the volatility is what prevents it from being useful as a truly everyday instrument.
And you touched on this a little bit, but expand on it a bit more. Just how powerful is the crypto lobby? Obviously, they invested heavily in this last election cycle. They were very successful. Do you expect their influence to grow in this next Congress?
Yes, absolutely. There is now a bona fide crypto lobby. They have their own super PACs and dark money groups. They have a lot of influence in Washington, D.C. Just recently, AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was on social media saying, like, this is happening. The amount of money pouring into Washington from the crypto lobby is truly unprecedented. And so we are starting to see not just sort of elections being influenced by crypto money, but also the more sort of subtle, nuanced places where the regulations are actually being written. People like Howard Lutnick, who is just named to or picked by Trump as his incoming commerce secretary, has deep ties in the crypto industry as well. So it's not just the official crypto lobby, but many of the players who will wield influence in a second Trump administration will have ties, either explicit or implicit, to the crypto industry.
Okay, a lot to talk about there. Kevin Roose, thank you so much for your time.